Hey, we're live. Um,
Hey,
so, Hello everyone. Here we are talking about a very Italian holiday, sweet traditions from north to south. And we are three representatives who clearly represent these areas of Italy. And each area, I mean, each little town, let's put it that way, has amazing foods. But let's start. We'll start with Lolly because she lives up north. And then we're going to just move geographically down right to Tuscany. And everyone knows and loves Tuscany and Tuscan food. And then we'll go down to Rome. And I have a little Roman treat, actually, a little treat from my hometown here. And then another Southern thing. So, just to give you all a heads up, so if you have a pencil, write it down. We are going to be doing another live event, holiday focused, on the 22nd of December at 6 p.m. We're going to tell you everything you need to know about an Italian New Year's Eve. And it's very ritualistic. You've got to do just certain things, and it's wonderful and magical.
and there's a lot
And
of food,
the
of course,
the other
always.
thing is the Befana, and I don't know if you all know what the Befana is, but, there are anyhow, I'm not gonna tell you, I'm gonna save that, and, I'm gonna pass this right off to, Lolly, and tell us about what's, literally what's cooking for, Christmas desserts up in the North.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's me, Lolly Martin from Weeknights in Italy. Um, I'm so excited to be here today. And
Yes.
my kitchen smells like sugar and sweets. I've been holding back all day from opening these treats until I got on the call with you all. So as we're covering from north to south, I'm covering the north. I'm in Lake Como, right near Milan, and also near Piemonte and Verona, where some of the most iconic sweets of Christmas come from. And I have two of them right now, which is not so easy to get an artisanal um, panettone in the middle
You are
of
lucky.
September, right?
Lucky.
But in Milan, the home of panettone, there is actually this amazing pasticceria that makes panettone all year round. So I was able to order one of their classic ones, and
Oh, you'll have to share that link because
oh, I
I
will.
I would like to have them year round.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, it takes 3 days because as you know, or maybe you don't know, but it takes, about 2 days to make a panettone. Um, and the process is just mesmerizing. I would highly recommend that you watch it. So, the legend goes that the first panettone was made in the late 1400s by a chef in the court of Ludovico de Moro, if I got that right. Anyway, hypothetically, or so the legend goes, his name was Tony, this cook. And he birthed the Christmas dessert. And so, in an attempt to make a replacement, he gathered whatever was in the kitchen and he came up with this spectacular and divine dessert, which it really does take a couple days to make. There's multiple risings. Um, and in the final step, which is just incredible to watch, I've never done it myself. They actually take the panettone out of the oven, put skewers in the bottom, flip it, and let it rest overnight. So it has this incredible, the fluffy, air-filled, spongy texture. So for anyone who hasn't tried it, it does have candied fruit in it. And I can tell you that if you don't like panettone, which is, this buttery, fluffy cake with egg yolks and candied orange, lemon, and citron, and you don't like it, it's probably because you haven't had a good one. I will never forget the first time I had one from this incredible pasticceria called Peck in Milano near the Duomo. And it was like night and day. Like every panettone I had had before was not panettone to me anymore. So this is my first time trying this particular pasticceria, though, which is called Pave.
Oh,
And
I love it. I love it there. Yes.
have you
One of
tried
my
it?
favorite. Yes.
Oh my
I
gosh!
came to Milan to try that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wait, have you seen
yeah,
these, Julia? So
yeah, yeah.
have you seen these little cute? Okay,
Yes,
so
I love
I,
it.
I had to get one. So they sell, this is the classic flavor, but then they sell these, they're portions of two. This is a panettone in a jar.
Oh,
And the
wow.
flavor
That I've not
is,
seen.
I know it's apricot, lemon, and fave di tonka, which is this
Tonka bean.
the tonka bean.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
kind of spice.
I'm dying to try this one. Wait, oh no. Wait, it's a complicated opening process. Okay. All right, we're not going to taste this one right now. But okay, so that's the story of the panettone, and I will include the links to
Well, Lolly,
Pave.
one great, even if you think you don't like panettone, and even after you try an amazing one, you still think you don't. One great use, and I'm sure you guys have done this before, is to make it into panettone French toast. And
Ooh,
it's
I
magical.
haven't.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You guys, I have to just show you.
Oh God, I'm drooling. I'm drooling looking at that. Yes.
It smells like, well, there's honey in it. It smells like honey and sugar and butter and
That's not fair.
No.
Okay. It's so good. But it's so the fruit is so soft and sweet. Okay. So oh my gosh. And the outside is like a little bit more sugary. Okay. That's amazing. But okay. I'm not sure. We have 63 people in the call. And I'm not sure who has seen how a Pandoro is prepared, which is the other iconic Italian dessert from the north. It's from Verona. Now, they actually know when this exact form of Pandoro was created because the guy who created the 8-starred pan and the Pandoro cake inside patented it like the next day. You realize how
Smart person.
smart guy, right?
Yeah.
So this is a box. I couldn't order this in advance. Maybe you guys know of a place where you can order a Pandoro in advance, but this is from Verona. It's from Baldi, and I got it from the grocery store. But it is supposed to be very good because I saw that Cucina Italiana did a taste test and it's got like a 8 out of 10 or something. So
Yeah, we're getting into the season where the shelves are filled with every variety.
they are,
panettone.
but if you want, again, like if you want one that's made from a pasticceria, like you're just starting to see them on the shelves. Okay, so
Yeah.
open this box, and I'm sure there's a better way to open the box, but all right, aspetta. Okay, so you can see the shape. Just makes me so happy. It smells so good. So this is less complicated of a recipe in terms of ingredients, but only in terms of ingredients because the time is the same. It's 3 risings. It takes about 32 hours. So it's a lot like it's maybe not incredibly difficult, but it requires a lot of concentration and patience, I would say.
Yeah, just like panettone isn't difficult per se, but there's so many steps and it takes so long. There you go, the powdered sugar.
Okay, so for anyone who hasn't done this is like I think this is just like something to put on your bucket list for
It's a
life.
ritual. Yeah.
I really do. It's so special. So inside my little purple box was this packet of vanilla scented powdered sugar. And you take the bag and you don't take your Pandora out of the bag. Okay. You're going to leave it in the bag. And then you're going to take your powdered sugar and you're going to shake it down. Okay. And then I got to get it all in. All right.
Are you ready to dance with us? Because it's the Christmas dance of every family.
Oh my God. Do you dance? Tell me.
Shaking? The shaking? It's
Okay, here. And then
sugar.
Julia, Wendy, tell me if you do anything different, but this is how I was taught to
No.
do it. So then you take some powdered sugar,
Yeah, exactly.
you pour it on the top, if everybody can see. Okay. And then you twist the top of the bag really tight, and then you dance. And then
Yeah.
And then it goes all over the cake. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Let's take it out and see the final result. Drum roll. It smells like, honestly, it smells like heaven. The name Pandoro means, golden bread because of all the egg yolks and butter, but it
And
smells.
it's much more cakey than the panettone, which is more sweetbread-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I guess I'll cut you a piece and then I'll send it virtually to everybody through the study. It is surreal to be doing this at the end of November though, but my son's going to be so happy when he comes home from tennis practice and finds that I've already got a Pandora ready for him. So that you can see the color.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
And the smell is just all vanilla and sugar and
Butter.
clouds. Like,
So one year, my cognata, my sister-in-law, she did all that, and then so you've got it like this. Then she cut it in about this thick of slices this way,
yes.
about 4 of them, and then she stacked them alternating, and she put a candle on each of the places where there was kind of a landing. You've done that, Julia?
With
Yeah.
cream. Usually with cream in between, whipped cream. So, or with
She didn't, but yeah. Okay, so that's like not a unique thing. That's sort of typical. But I thought it was lovely. And you light these candles. It's like magic.
Mascarpone cream, Giovanna's saying. And that's actually what my family did. It's like a coffee flavored cream with mascarpone. And it's just the loveliest combination.
Yeah,
And
it is.
quickly, I'll just show the other two treats, which are not, there's no demo. So I hope no one's disappointed, but I did just want to show some other treats that for me, it's not Christmas in Italy without them. And one is gianduja, these gianduiotti, little candies from
Triangular. Yeah.
So my in-laws, well, my mother-in-law is originally from Puglia, but my father-in-law is from Piemonte, and that's where they met. And so if these aren't out, then probably we just cancel Christmas because they come from Piemonte. And so what I learned though is that these were originally, do you know when they were invented? Does anyone know? It was right after the war, the Second World War.
When there was a chocolate shortage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There was a chocolate shortage. So Pietro Ferrero, he had the idea of mixing cacao with hazelnuts and sugar, and very little cacao, and created these in big bars. And he would slice them off in big slices, almost like a slice of bread. And then later, and that was in 1946. And then later, I think in the 50s, it was his son, Michele, had the idea to turn the gianduja into a spread and give it a more easily pronounceable name and called it Nutella.
Yeah. It's my favorite chocolate of all. These gianduiotti. And I just love them. And it's very typical at Christmas time and year round, but particularly now.
It's so soft and melts in your mouth. It just has absolutely nothing to do with Hershey's chocolate in the United States. But So I don't want to talk too long. I have marron glacé too, which is another candied.
Well, we'll get back. Maybe we'll circle back and do
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. Yeah.
And while we
I love meat.
jealously watch you eat that, Julia will share custom treats.
So
Can't wait.
these are actually not even from Tuscany, but from Siena and from the surrounding area. So this is Christmas at home for me. This is panforte. So it's fruit cake with almonds, candied orange peel, candied citron peel, a lot of spices, honey, and sometimes you can add some of the hazelnuts. Then we have ricciarelli. So these are almond cookies.
Love
and then
them.
we have cavallucci. And I want to start talking about cavallucci because these are actually really my favorite. So these are ugly. Okay. We all agree that these are ugly. These are not the typical beautiful iced Christmas cookie. The white thing you see on top is not icing sugar. This is flour. So really simple, basic. They're covered in flour. So they look really unassuming. But as for every sweet treat from Siena, they have a medieval origin. So cavallucci is one of the most typical. They are typical of Siena, of the surrounding towns. I remember my grandfather used to send me these cookies in a paper bag for Christmas through my mom. And so I really love them. The smell, they are spiced. They have a very chewy texture. Did it because they are made with baking ammonia. So the baking ammonia, not baking powder, baking ammonia gives them this chewy, airy texture, which is very unique. And then you have a lot of candied orange peel, candied citron peel, the anise seeds, and some more spices, and then walnuts. So these are vegan because you don't have honey here. So it's a cookie which is rich in spices, rich in the flavor, and vegan, like naturally vegan. These are from the medieval time. They were known as berricuacoli in the 16th century in Siena, and they were made. They have a kind of a hoof print on top. That's the reason why they are known as cavallucci. Cavallo is a horse, so they are probably known as cavallucci because they were served to travelers on horseback because these are very intense, a source of nourishment, or maybe because this is what the postal workers would eat when they were traveling from one place to the other, because they're very rich and nourishing. And of course, if you make this, the candied orange peel is really nice and flavorful. Then the second one is ricciarelli. This is probably
Julia, did you make those first ones?
So then we come to I make all of this. I mean, except the panforte. Yeah. This is not my recipe. I actually prefer my recipe. I'm going to tell you this.
Oh.
These are ricciarelli. So these are gluten-free. So can you imagine all these old recipes? They all have something very modern in their approach. Cavallucci are vegan. Ricciarelli are gluten-free because these are made with egg whites, almond flour, orange peel, vanilla extract or vanilla seeds, sugar, and then they're covered in sugar. They date back to the 15th century. So again, we go back, centuries back in the history of Siena. And this is when Siena was famous all over Europe for their sweet treats because it was at the center of the sugar boom. And also it was famous for marzipan made with almond flour. So that's why they were so important. They were made by convents, apothecaries, but now you can find them in bakeries, you can find them in pastry shops, you can find them in supermarkets, and so on. And then we go to panforte.
Julia,
yeah,
can you find them year round or only at Christmas?
So in Siena, you can find them in bakeries and pastry shops all year round because it's one of the main attractions when you go to Siena. It's the medieval spices. You can smell when you walk in the streets of Siena. So you can find them all year round. But people in Siena will buy them just for Christmas.
Okay.
So this is not something real Sienese people would do to buy Ricciarelli Nogos. They buy them from their favorite pastry shop or bakery around Christmas time. And this is Panforte. So this is made by Forno il Magnifico, my favorite bakery in Siena. It's actually probably my favorite Panforte from all the producers of Siena.
It looks
Second just to my
beautiful.
Panforte.
It looks
Yes,
gorgeous.
because it's thick. I really love when you can get a very thick
Yes,
Panforte.
exactly. Exactly. That's
Usually the one you
unusual.
buy, the one you buy in supermarkets is thin, you know. This is very thick, full of spices and everything. And Panforte, again, is a medieval treat. So they all go back, centuries. The origin of Panforte was the pane melatas, so a kind of bread made with honey. And then it would kind of become sour, as the days were passing. And so that's how panis fortis, so sour bread. There are so many legends and stories related to Panforte. It was made by Speziali, so apothecaries in Siena. But what I really love is that there's a parchment from the 18th century, and they say that to make Panforte, you need 17 noble ingredients, just like 17 are the contradas. Were the contradas.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
So everything is connected to the history of Siena, the contrade, the palio, the medieval traditions, and everything.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, Linda is asking where to buy Il Magnifico. I think if you go to Il Magnifico, you can find the best Panforte, the Cavallucci, and also the Ricciarelli. Otherwise, and that's the other thing I wanted to tell, there's also this habit. So you can buy your Cavallucci, you can buy your Panforte from your favorite bakery. You can buy them in supermarkets, but they are not always the best quality. Or you can make them. And when you want to make them and you live in one of these little towns around Siena, you go to a drogheria, so one of those shops that sell everything, candies, spices, chocolate, and everything, and you ask for a dose of Panforte. So a dose of Panforte, a dose of Ricciarelli, a dose of Cavallucci, and they give you the recipe and all the ingredients, the dry ingredients that you need to make them. This means if you need to add eggs, you just add the eggs. If you need to add honey, you add the honey. Otherwise, they give you the exact amount of flour, almonds, spices that you need so that you can make them at home. The sugar. How I learned to make my own Panforte and Ricciarelli and Cavallucci because I started with a written recipe from one of these bakeries.
Wow.
Family traditions in terms of spices or thickness with other recipes. And I came with my recipes that you can find all of them in my newsletter. So if you want to reproduce them, you can find the recipe for Panforte, for Ricciarelli, and for Cavallucci.
Giulia,
yeah.
How are your recipes different than the one you would find like in a shop? How's your family recipe?
I tried that year after year after year. So even I'll give you an example for the Panforte, the thickness makes a huge difference. So I tried.
Do you make yours thick, Giulia? Also,
yeah, thick like this because I love it. And then, for example, in the traditional recipe that I, found at the beginning, you just have almonds. But then trying Panforte from every bakery, I discovered some of them add hazelnuts, and I really love a Panforte with a couple of hazelnuts, there that really change the flavor. So I like to add hazelnut. And then it comes to the spices, because for Panforte and for Cavallucci, there's a mix of spices. And it's a secret mix. So you know which are the spices that you use for this. But if you buy them from Manganelli in Siena, and Manganelli is one of the places I would visit if you go to Siena around Christmas time, they will ask you if you want the black spices or the white spices. Because Panforte can be darker or lighter, both in color and in flavor. So the dark one is covered with pepper, The white one is covered with icing sugar, and the spices change. So the white panforte, which is also known as panforte margherita, because it was created for the Queen Margherita that was visiting Siena, is much lighter and delicate. While the dark panforte, the black panforte, is the older one, the more traditional one, and has more intense spices. So if you go to Manganelli and you ask for the spices, they give you the exact amount of spices you need for your dose of panforte, but you're not allowed to know the exact amount of each spice. So you have mace, you have cinnamon, you have cloves, but you don't know the exact ratio because it's their secret recipe. And every shop has a different mixture of spices, so you can also choose your favorite one. And my favorites are from Manganelli in Siena. So if I was going to be in Siena around Christmas time, I would try Panforte, Rizzarelli, and Cavallucci from Il Magnifico. And if you want to reproduce them, you can also go to Manganelli and get all your ingredients plus the spices, the secret mix of spices.
So, but if you get the ingredients from them, they're going to sell you the composite of either the dark or the white. So
Exactly.
you really have to ferret out and figure out the flavor profile to understand what the components are.
Yeah, of course, they sell also the Panforte, so you can see it, you can taste it, and decide which one you prefer. But then it's nice because, for example, for the Ricciarelli, you need almond flour, but with a little note of bitter almond. So they make a mixture adding some of the bitter almonds that you are not allowed to sell in Italy because they are poisonous. But they add just the right amount to give you the aroma, the very deep, intense aroma of bitter almonds without, of course, poisoning you.
Well, fascinating. And out of all the desserts, which one is Lydia's favorite?
Ricciarelli. She loves Ricciarelli because, but actually, I'm surprised she likes Cavallucci as well. Maybe because I was really pushing Cavallucci to her because this is my favorite. The spices are gentle; they are not overpowering in Cavallucci. You have aniseed here, but then it's very nice. It's sweet, and then Ricciarelli, of course, the crowd pleasing because it's sweet, it's gentle. You have the orange, the vanilla, so aromas that you normally associate to Christmas.
Okay.
And then the last thing, which is very interesting, is that the spices you use in Cavallucci are the same spices you find in some of our charcuteries, because they were the same mixes that you can use in Buristo, for example, or in soppressata. So when you smell a slice of soppressata, kind of the head cheese, so cold cut made with all the parts of the head of the pig, you have the same aromas of the Christmas sweet treats, because the same people selling spices for cookies were selling spices for these products. So they were the same. So they smell like Christmas, just like a cookie.
Right.
Exactly.
I
did not know that. I love it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
So if you want to make them, you find the recipes in my newsletter, Letters from Tuscany, for the Panforte, for the Ricciarelli, and for Cavallucci. These are the simple recipes. Then you can, of course, play with them. Panforte, you can also make it simply with walnuts and dried figs, which is, a more modern version, but just as lovely. I like to make Ricciarelli, which is not traditional, but flavoring them with different aromas throughout the year, because they are made just with egg whites. So when I have leftover egg whites, I make Ricciarelli, and you can flavor them with coffee, you can flavor them with lemon and elderflower. So really you can, choose your adventure with the spice.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. I'm definitely going to check out your Panforte recipe. And I love the idea of it being a thicker thing. Nice. So I
Wendy,
guess
are you going to take us to the south?
We're going to move south here. And
I don't know if you saw, but there was just a Pandoro thief that reached in and took a slice.
No, I didn't. Yeah. So I made, and I'm going to put this in my newsletter. I did all because Rome and South is big.
Oh.
And really everything in between Rome and where you guys are. And there are so many varieties of these things that we've talked about already, especially things like panforte. But I think every town has its own special Christmas tree. Now, I live in Riano, which is a very small town north of Rome. So from my property, I can see St. Peter's Dome, but I'm in the country. But then my town is tiny. And amazingly, they have their own dialect, but they also have their own um, Laziale. Lazio is the region where Rome is located. Their own pangiallo, which means yellow bread. And it's not, I made some today for our show and tell. They're still on the cookie sheet, you can
Ooh.
see. But if you look, it's similar. Lots of these Christmas things
Very similar.
have, so I have in here all the usual suspects, walnuts, hazelnuts, almonds, pine nuts, really anything you want. And I should say, with Julia's recipe and my recipe for there's a lot of chocolate in here too.
Oh.
Chopped chocolate and then cocoa powder.
Is there fruit? Any candied fruit in that?
There's candy fruit. There are uva passa, raisins. And since you guys have been eating, I have to as well. Yummy. My husband loves this. Italians love these things. But you can see in there all these nuts. I suppose I could even make it thicker, but this is a more compact kind of a thing.
It looks like it'd be really good with a coffee, with an espresso.
Yeah. I mean, my husband loves this kind of stuff, and he'll just, it'll be slice after slice. I made a mini portion, but the typical thing is you make these and then you wrap them up in like tin foil and you put a bow on them and you give them as gifts over the holidays. And we always had a ton of them from our old aunt who's passed away at nearly 100 years old, who's in Lazio, but further north. So that's the version from my little town. And I will have a recipe for that on my Substack and my website. So I'm looking at this list of what I have here, and I think it's probably better, in the interest of time, to not go through all of these because each of them is unique and every region has its own thing.
You know, I can listen to you talk about food like all day.
Yeah,
So,
while we
Sicily,
while we eat, exactly, Julia.
Sicily makes this Christmas tree called bucellati or cucinati. I'm not getting my consonants doubled properly, but it's originally from Palermo, made with a short crust pastry, and it's shaped into rings and filled with dried figs. Now, I think I've mentioned on other lives I've done that we have lots of fig trees, and I freeze my figs. It's like having a freezer filled with golf balls. I mean, because they're like that. And I have them every day on my cereal and everything. But this particular Sicilian treat, which you'll see on this thing that I have on my newsletter, it's the closest thing that comes to something that I really loved as a kid growing up in the States, which is fig Newtons. I love those things. So, but I will have to start drying some of my figs. Now, one southern area that I absolutely adore, and I frequently will just jump on the train to go down and eat sfogliatelle and just anything, is Napoli, which the very fastest train, the very first fast, super fast train in Italy, I have to lick the honey off my fingers, was the Rome to Naples. So you can get there, you can really like go down there for breakfast and come back. But one thing they make is strufoli. And I made these this morning as well. And I have
Oh
to,
my God. Look at that.
so I am going to eat one of these.
Oh, I'm
They are,
jealous now. Now I'm jealous.
Julia, you've had these, right?
I had the similar one from Puglia. I think, Lolly, maybe you have them as well. So since you,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Puglia? Since you're
I
in
have not.
mother-in-law.
I haven't had those. Not this. No, I don't know
So,
why. We have
basically,
had like the savory fried ones, the pettole.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you make this wonderful, easy, sweet dough that you just stir in a bowl, let it rest, with a dishcloth on top for half an hour. Then you roll it out into these logs, cut it into these little pieces, and roll these out. They're about the size of a marble, more or less.
Okay.
And then you fry them. And they are, when you eat them just like that, it's like a teeny tiny donut. It's a little donut.
Looks so
And
good.
then they spend quite a while in some wonderful honey.
Oh,
You
there's
can
a
make
honey flavor.
a wreath, or the typical thing is to stack them up like this.
Mhm.
And then you put the little sprinkles on them. My daughter and grandchildren live in our house too, downstairs.
Good.
And,
They can help you.
well, when they come up and see this, I've sort of kept things hidden for the moment, but they'll be all over this.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
So that is, I just wanted to feature those two. I make my own panettone, and I've tried to create a very simplified recipe for that, which is on my website. It's I don't do it every year because it's so impegnativo, but really requires a lot of time and effort. But I just get so much joy in, as you said, Lolly, you stick those little and turn it upside down, and there's just something so joyous about them. And I've made them also in like the big pelati, the cans from tomato sauce, to make mini ones.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. It's just, I would say that's probably the best known worldwide for Italian Christmas treats is the panettone, and it's just
Yeah, I think
wonderful.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do love these little things too.
I'm curious
Do we
about
have any
this is
questions?
kind of like the idea of your making the mini panettone.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
they have like if I'm so glad that Julia has already vetted these. But this is not the only like non-traditional flavor they have. They also have white chocolate and coffee.
Oh yeah.
And they have one with four kinds of chocolate, which I don't know, what would that be? Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, and
Ruby?
But,
I don't know.
Ruby chocolate?
Julia? I have no idea.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's essentially, it's not a ball jar, but it's essentially that. That's a great idea.
So it's kind of interesting when you think of it, because a large part of making the panettone is the upside down thing. So how do you do that? You can't just like spear through your paper formina to flip it up. It's in a jar. So how does that work?
I don't know.
I think it's kind of sous vide, like vacuum somehow. That's how it keeps the shape. And it's also,
Okay.
I guess it has a long shelf life because it's kind of vacuumed. They make also baba like that.
Yeah, they do. They make papa rum.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll get to Milan. It's not far. It's like 45 minutes. I just have to. I'll go down there and I'll ask them.
yeah.
Well,
And I
you know,
will report
another
back.
great place for panettone is Torino. Torino's a wonderful place for all kinds of things. Well, that's where Gianduja and Gianduiotti come from. It's a great place for chocolate. Anyhow,
But in the last
So-
years, we have this panettone artigianale. So many bakeries now they do panettone artigianale
yeah,
from north to south, and they take their own ingredients there. So they use their own flavor combinations and everything. So even my bakery, which is like in town in Colle Valdelsa, they make their own panettone artigianale, one with chocolate, one with pistachios and white chocolate. So it has
Yeah.
become a
Mm.
trend. They are very expensive. We have to say this. They are very expensive because if you think about
Very.
the days it takes to make
Yeah.
them, it's totally worth. But
Yeah.
go around 40 euros for
Yeah.
45 euros for
That's a good
one
point, Jules.
panettone. So very expensive.
Also, like this, I was looking to order an artisanal Pandoro from Verona. I picked the shop, but you couldn't until the end of the month. But the prices I was looking at were 50 just for the Pandoro, and then 80 if it came in the tin, because a lot of them
Yeah.
come in the tins
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
presentation. And I mean, that was another thing I wanted to ask you guys. So here in Como, like I don't see so much that families are typically buying these for themselves. They're mostly getting them gifted. Like if you work in an office, you're certainly getting gifted Pandoro or
Yeah.
Panettone. And then, there's often like kind of a stack of them next to the table at home before the
Well,
holidays.
yeah, that's true. I mean, but you buy them, you give them, they're given to you. There's
Exactly.
like
It's an
There's
exchange. Yeah.
trafficking
Yes.
of panettone and pandora going on over the holidays. But it's
Yeah.
fun because you tried all these different ones.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Yeah, that's a good thing that you brought up the prices. What else? There was one other thing I wanted to ask you guys about. No, I can't remember what it was. My brain is full of sugar now.
So, do we have any questions?
We don't. I haven't seen questions. I've seen a lot of incredible people out there that are making their own panettone. I think I saw Linda
good.
is making one that's half a kilo. And did I see anybody out there who's making their own Pandoro? Anyone who has the tin? If anybody out there, I would guess it would be Judy. I bet Judy has that tin. Tell us.
Yeah, Judy, let us know if you are. Maybe
Oh,
not.
Devonta has
Oh,
it.
that's
Bravo. Bravo, Devonta. Have you made it? No, she doesn't have it. Okay. All right. Bravissima. Okay, I have one more treat I can show you, which is, I don't know if this is a big deal in other parts of Italy, but this is so holidays here around Como. And it's not from Como, but it's the marron glacé,
Oh, yeah.
which, I guess there's some debate as to whether it is from like Piemonte or it's from France. Obviously, the name is French, and glacé means like ghiacciato, like ice, because it looks frozen, right?
Well, I think it's more so like because of the sugar.
No, right, exactly.
Because it's so much sugar.
So much sugar. So much sugar. Now, I would love to know if anyone has made these at home. So basically, they start with a chestnut. Okay. So I've got a whole bunch of these right here. They score them on the top, soak them in sugar water. Then, oh, Judy's making them. Oh, she's a legend. It takes like what, 5 days? Does it take 5 days? That's what I read. So you soak them in sugar water, then you boil them in sugar water, then you let them rest in the sugar water for 5 days. And then, oh no, in between there, you take them out very, very carefully so you don't break them.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, look at this. It's a work of art. And it is so delicious.
Hold
with
it
the-
up closer. Yeah, it is. They're beautiful. That's a big one. That's a big one.
Okay, Judy says she's cooking them daily. So I think we're going to need a report back from Judy on this.
Yeah, Judy, you've got to let us know on that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but in the end, the final step is both a sugar, it's a powdered sugar glaze and, oh, I can't remember now. It's a powdered sugar glaze and then some other kind of a sugar glaze. It's the two combined that make it so incredibly shiny.
Yeah.
And Judy's going to be sharing this with Linda, who's our legendary panettone maker. So anyway, I think it's gonna be a very merry holiday with lots of delicious sweets.
Yeah. Everybody, please, we'll have to get a little thing of notes going on after this live so that people can share the stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different regional and even more than regional, just, by town, everybody has some little specialty that they know about or they're doing. So, we'll definitely, one of you guys get some notes going here and let's see what people share because I love to learn all these new things.
Yeah.
And I love to eat
Great.
all the new things.
I love to eat them too. Julia, do you ever make these marron glacé?
No, my candied experience ends at candied orange peel and citron peel because when I make my own panforte, I like to use my own candied orange peel and citron peel. So in January, I make them and then I keep them in jars. And then in December, I use them. And then in January, I make them again. So it's a production that I make every year, but I just candied my orange and citron peel. Yeah. But I guess it's
Nice.
similar. So it's a boiling process every day for, in the case of the peels, 7 days until they are shiny and glossy and candied. So probably it's similar. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Delicious. Okay, ladies. I think we should let people go to dinner, and if you're calling in from the States, get on with your day.
If you
This has been
haven't been
great.
eating cake with us, we don't need dinner anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget the New Year's Eve and Befana live that the three of us will be doing on the 22nd of December.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
everybody,
much.
for coming.
See
It
you in
was so much
December.
fun.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao. Ciao.